Nobody wanted to make it. We didn't want to be making that movie, not with that ending. None of us wanted to make that movie, but we had to because there was 5 movies that were being geared up to be made by other people. And there was like 8 books, and there was all kinds of documentaries. They were just starting to really get into it. And so the family said, we got to put out a film. They didn't want to. Nobody of the family came to any one of the filmings of any one of the scenes during the entire piece, except for once the mother came when we were at the Astrodome, and we were there, filming the part when she's singing. And but her father came to every single second of the movie. He was there, and I was playing him. So I had been with him for almost a year since the accident, the whole thing had happened. And I was studying him and being with him, and it was amazingly difficult, because he was constantly completely in disarray. And so, you know how good the movie was. It really put you inside of their life, when they were children and going back to Los Dinos, and then, all the things of playing the drums and me falling backwards, and all the kids, constantly laughing and having fun, and, the washing machine and all this stuff, all wonderful moments, just classic, beautiful moments that just tickled your heart. Well, we would finish filming that sequence or that scene 10, 12 times, whatever it took. After every single time we stopped and the cut came, I would turn and I would look, and there would be Abraham, the distance away, and his back towards us in heaving sobs. You see his whole body contracting in pain. And I said, oh my God. And it became, we shot the scene in the hospital one time. Put the cameras there, we walked in. He didn't even want us to shoot that scene. I said, Abraham, let us shoot this last moment. It's very important to the telling of the story. He says, oh man, and he walked out. He couldn't take it. And then we got in there. We were all very aware of what we were doing and how difficult this was. And we walked in there and we shot that scene and one take. And 3 cameras, and we all took, we all started. Boom, when we went there, all of us went there, and it was ugly. It was ugly going there. And we were just acting. I couldn't even imagine if that was my daughter, So, Selena was the hardest movie we've ever made in my life. And I gotta tell you, thank you for making it such a successful film for that family, for all of us. It's become like a cornerstone. It made Jennifer Lopez's career. I think it's the best performance she's ever given in her life. And she hasn't really quoted me yet for one day. Maybe like 80. She's looking back at her life saying, the movie I made with Selena is the best movie I ever made. Vas a ver, van a ver.
All right, over here. Well, with science fiction and fantasy fans being as passionate as they are, when you started in Battlestar Galactica, did you anticipate the response it would generate? And do you think it's kind of had an influence on future projects, things that you might act or direct?
Yeah, to everything. You're absolutely 1,000% correct. And yes, I felt it the day that I read the script. I wasn't going to do Battlestar Galactica. I was walking around with the Ballad of Gregorio Cortez. I was here. I showed it here for free. I showed it all over the country for free, carrying the canisters of the movie. I was carrying it myself. I would go around showing this movie, and this is not a movie that goes along. Battlestar does not go along with that kind of situation with the Ballad of Gregorio Cortez and with Selena and with all these movies that I made. Battlestar Galactica. People with 4 eyes. eyes and 3 lips. And I said, I don't think I can go there, man. I'm sorry. They had asked me to do Star Trek.
Star Trek, that's right.
They had asked me to do Star Trek, and I said, geez, I'm working, sorry. No, but this, you're going to take over Kirk's position. Before they got Picard and everybody, you know.
Patrick Stewart, yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. They had asked me to be part of that, and I said, you know, I appreciate the genre. I did Blade Runner. Yeah. So I appreciate it, but I really have only a certain amount of time in my lifetime, so I pick my things that I do, and I was, you know, I gotta tell you, it was amazingly difficult. You know, my friends, my agents, people said, you're crazy. What are you doing? And this is a career changer. I said, yes, it is. But I gotta tell you right now, I'd rather do Mi Familia, or I'd rather do American Family for PBS than I turned down being a regular on West Wing so that I could do American Family. You know, I said to them, I said, I really appreciate it. I love being Judge Mendoza, and I think that the Supreme Court just the first one, Latino, that represents us in a very high way, and this is a great, great product. You guys are making a great piece of work, but I said, you guys have so many stars and so many people in it already. American Family, it won't be made unless I go over there and I make it with these people. And so I went over there and I made it at PBS, and some of you guys might have saw it. You know, it was a brilliant piece of work. If you haven't seen American Family, do yourself, if you can get it, you can't even get the second season. You know why?
Why is that?
Because the government of the United States of America pulled the plug on us, and they made PBS stop making that program. Because we put the Iraq War in our storyline, and they told us to pull it out, and we said we wouldn't. And he says, okay, then we're going to fund you. And they cut our funding. And they stopped us from making any more. We won the Emmy nomination for the best series of that year. And with all that, they pulled the plug on us. And people can't, you try to go find the second year of American Family. How many of you saw it? Look around, it was like 4, 5 people saw that. If you guys saw that program, you would be in shock. First, you're gonna laugh like crazy, but second, you're gonna feel the pain of what it was like to lose our children in that war. And I gotta tell you, man, it was right after 9/11, man. It was right during the midst of it. The war started the week we opened our show. And we used footage from the bombing of Iraq that started our movie.
Shock and awe.
Oh, everything. And it was the first war ever put on television at the exact same time the war was happening. You know, Vietnam War, the Second World War, Korean War, they were all after. You know, we made movies about them after. But we were making a movie about what was going on right now. And boy, they got pissed off. They get mad at the Mexicans for that one.
You feel like you maybe won it over in a more popular sense with Battlestar Galactica, because it was pretty allegorical to the war on terror. I mean, it's not obviously not the same scope as something like that, but it was pretty well informed by what was going on. Do you think that?
Battlestar Galactica, for those of you that haven't seen it, and there are many in this room that haven't seen it because it wasn't really picked up and really used and understood by the Latino community. I was very surprised when I got here and I sat down there and people started to come up and started to thank me for Battlestar. I said, well, have you ever seen it? Because I've been walking this country now for 12 years since we started Battlestar in 2003. And I had very few Latinos who come up to me and thank me for that program. But Battlestar Galactica is the best usage of television that has ever been used in the history of this country. Bar none. There's a reason they asked